User research. Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about user research. If you are building a product, a business, especially those at the early stage, this video is for you. You don't want to spend all your time, the money, resources building product that nobody will buy. If you want to build a product that is in demand, product that people actually want and need, problem that hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we want to talk about user research. So if you're building a business or product, especially those at the early stage, this video is for you. Irrespective of the stage you've been. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we want to talk about user research. If you're building a product, a business, irrespective. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about user research. If you're building a product, a business, irrespective of your stage, but precisely for those at the early stage or ideation, this video is for you. You don't want to spend your time, your money, and all resources building product that nobody needs. You want to build a product that is high in demand. You want to build a product that sell really fast. Sit down here and listen and you will thank me later. So what exactly is user research? User research is a systematic approach of understanding your users, your customers, trying to know who your customers are, understand their behavior, their motivation, their need, and most importantly, their pain points. So you want to understand who actually your users are because not everybody is your user. One mistake that people do, businesses make, is to assume that you're building a product that is for everyone. You don't want to build too large products very soon. You want to start small. You want to narrow your audience. That's one important part of the product development. Hello, everyone. And most importantly, the pain points. So you want to understand who actually. Okay, so you want to understand who your customers are. You want to understand their need. You want to understand their pain points. You want to understand their behavior, their motivation. And then when you have this clear understanding, you now build your product around those areas, particularly the pain points. If you don't understand the pain point and you're just building your product based on assumption, there are high chances, very, very high chances that you will eventually finish building the product and nobody wants to buy it. The right idea is that you don't build a product and start looking for who will buy it. You look for who your customers are, interact with them, establish the relationship with them, identify their pains, and then you build your product around those areas, the pain points you identified. And when you do that, you are already assured that what you're building is solving a problem. You're already assured that people really need your problem. You don't want to build a product based on people might like it. So the understanding is that it's better to build a product that only few people like, 10 people love, than building a product that about 100 or thousands of people would like. So if you build problem that they would like, there are tendency that they would don't like it, or even they would like it, but they don't like it enough to commit to it, to spend their money in that product. But if they really love the product, they're going to spend their money on the product. So, the most important meeting in your product life and product's life cycle is this meeting, your interaction with the users. it's very vital. In short, it is regarded as the foundation of your product's development. And you know that in typical life, like in reality, if you're building something, or let's use a house as an example, you're building a house and the house doesn't have solid foundation, you know you are just joking, because eventually the house is going to collapse. So your user research is the foundation of your product development. If you lay the foundation very well, then you are rest assured that you're building a real solution. But if your foundation is not strong enough, then you know you're wasting your time. So there are tendencies that after building, you're wasting the money. It will just be in vain, and you don't want to do that. Nobody want that. Um, Statistics show that 70% of new products fail. The main reason is that they don't solve a real problem, right, that actual people have. For instance, you may sometimes we have our motivation for building a product. Probably we've experienced it before, or we have people that are experiencing it, and you feel like, okay, let me solve this problem. But the truth is that it might be just 1 out of 10, 1 out of 100, right? And then another thing is that the pain might not be painful enough to trigger them to commit to your product. At the early stage, you might just start doing something and people are showing excitement. But at that point, to ask them to commit, that's when you will see the reality of the journey. So you want to make sure that this problem is solid enough that they cannot do without solving it. So user research is the fastest way to de-risk your business. So you don't want to waste your money. Like somebody was who was that I was listening to? Is it the founder of Alibaba or AliExpress? So he was saying something that um they say that business entrepreneurs are risk taker, but for him, he does not believe that. Nobody wants to take risk. They actually, a real entrepreneur try to eliminate risk at all costs, right? So you conduct your research very well and implement the wisdom, the strategy that will help you to de-risk whatever strategy you're taking, whatever venture you are embarking on. So it's very, very vital. And for this product development, number one strategy for you to de-risk your business is what? Conducting a thorough user research. So look at it this way. We have our GPS and see the user research as GPS to product market fit. Your product vision is your map, right? User research is your GPS. So, for instance, you know what you want to do, you know where you want to go. But that map, you already see, okay, this map is so place, is in maybe Virginia, is in Texas, is in Nigeria, right? But the truth is that knowing the location doesn't guarantee that you will arrive there if you just step out like that. There are many ways you can miss the way, right? You can arrive at the wrong destination. So now see the product user research as your GPS that will guide you step by step, ensuring that you arrive at that particular map. You arrive at the particular place you have in mind, your destination. So it's very, very vital. It's confirm you are on the right road. So your user research confirm that you are what? Taking the right step. It wants you about dead end. Yes. So for instance, you're building a product and that product is leading you to nowhere. You end up building products and you start looking for buyers and nobody's ready to commit, or they will commit and then they will use it today, tomorrow they will unsubscribe. So you don't want to experience that. So you kind of leading to dead end, a journey that is taking you nowhere. So you don't want to do that. So it reroutes you when you are lost, right? So if you're building the product and you're shifting from the initial goal, or maybe adding irrelevant features and everything. So with your product research, you will have what data-driven decisions. And this data-driven decision will help you understand that okay, for our users, this is actually what they want. Mr. A, our research shows that 70% of our user want this particular thing. 80% of our user do not use this. I mean, this particular feature is irrelevant. So because of that, you have to what keep it aside and focus on the one they actually need. So it's very, very vital. So you want to find the leaky boy bucket. So the next one is finding the leaky bucket. Finding the leaky bucket. You want to do your quantitative research. Quantitative research. So quantitative research give you a broader view of what is actually in demand, what the scenario surrounding the product you're building. So it gives you a larger view of what is going on. So I mean, you can afford to spend months on research, right? So, and I think it's one of the things that scares people when they want to embark in product. They'll be like, how do I even do it? I'm not a researcher. I want to deliver my product as fast as possible, or probably I want to be the first. Probably you've already sensed that there are many competitors coming up and you want to do your own as fast as possible. And actually, it's encouraged to deliver fast because the faster you deliver, the earlier you learn and re-strategize. But while you're delivering fast, you don't want to spend your money and your time building the wrong thing. So that user research can be done in a quick way, right? It's not it give you a big picture overview in minutes, not in months. So you can just like interact with few people and you already getting a picture of what you want. So it can be a simple 3 question survey, right? And that will give you like you conduct it with a larger audience, and that's actually essence of quantitative research. You can reach larger audience because you don't really need to sit down with them and interact one on one. So you after you conduct this few questions interview, you now sit down and do your what? A quick analysis. Just look at that the results, see how many of them want this, how many of them want this and that. If you are good with spreadsheets like Excel, you can do it in the Excel. If you're not, you can just analyze it yourself. And then I believe some AI app also can help if you don't have like people's individual data, personal data there, because you don't want to use people's private information to just feed AI anyhow. So you just have to be conscious of it while you're doing it. But I believe there are many other ways. Just by me looking at the data yourself, if you're using Excel, Google spreadsheet to do it, it's you can link it directly on the sorry, if you're using Google Form, you can link it directly on the Google spreadsheet, and there you can easily glance what's going on, right? It's a quick way. So you just do a quick look at your analytics, and then you have a clear sign that a problem exists. So in this stage, this quantitative research, finding the leaky bucket, you want to have like a clear view or sign that this is actually a problem. For instance, on the website, you want to know how many people that are able to check out, or how many people that want this particular product, how many people that use this instead of this. You can just create a form with just few questions, maybe just 3 questions as suggested, and then give it to large people. And the shorter the question, the higher the tendency of getting it filled fast, right? You have more people to fill the form, and then with those few questionnaire, you glance at it and you know that okay, for this product, people are actually encountering this particular challenge. They are not able to check out. This so percent of people, maybe 30% of them were able to check out. 70% were not able to check out. Obviously, you know that something is wrong with this product. So and then that's where the journey starts. So after that quantitative research, the next is qualitative research. So just book a few minutes story, a few minutes interview with few people, maybe among the larger audience that you met when you did your quantitative research. You can interact with few of them that consented to be what to follow up. So you book, even if it's like it's recommended, even if it's like five people, right? You just sit down with them and uh, and have a quick chat with them. So you can define your biggest assumption. Go and find five of them that actually encountering the problem. Sit down with them, just few minutes, interview them, listen. Don't sell, right? At this stage, you don't want to sell, you don't want to pitch your product, don't even present your solution to them. Listen to them and allow them to talk. So while they are talking, you are learning, you are understanding their pain. And beyond just listening, pay attention to their emotions, pay attention to their behavior. Sometimes people are saying A because they don't want you to feel bad, but in reality, their expression is saying B. So you have to pay attention to their expression. And the expression also, that the emotion will tell you when they are having the most frustrating experience. So with their expression, you'll be able to identify where the frustration is and then know how you can intervene. You already taking note of those frustration, and around those frustration is where you will now find your pain point. And it's expected that you're building your product around the pain point. So the next thing is that after conducting your quantitative research, the next is your what? Qualitative research. And in the qualitative research, you just want to ask some questions. You kind of use the founder lean research playbook. So the use founder lean research playbook say just define your biggest assumption. So what is your assumption? What is this idea and what you think is going on with this user? So, for instance, many people are not signing out, and you assume that something is wrong with checkout button, something like that, or they get lost during the checkout. So, your assumption can be that they get lost during the checkout. And then, when you define this, your biggest assumption, the next thing is to find few people. So maybe among those larger audience you use for quantitative research, you can find few of them that are consented for follow up, and then you sit down with them and listen to them. The goal is what? Listen. Don't sell. Don't pitch your product. In short, don't tell them about your product. So you have to get them to talk, listen. And beyond listen, pay attention to their expression. Pay attention to their um, emotion, because emotion speaks louder. Their body language is very, very important, because sometimes people can be telling you something because they think your product is this and that, and they don't want you to feel bad. So you don't want to allow that sentiment to play on you, because it's actually to your risk. So what you do is don't tell them about your product, get them to talk, and then while they are talking, beyond what they are saying, pay attention to their expression, pay their attention to their frustration. And it's usually within that frustration that you find the pain point, right? So for instance, somebody is saying something, but at that stage that they are frustrated, you feel like that frustration in the pitch, how they are speaking, right? And then you already know, oh, something is wrong with this area. And then you try to understand by asking more questions around the area. And while you're asking, you'll be able to identify your pain point, their pain point. And around that pain point is where you want to what build your product. So interview them, listen, don't sell. Synthesize, interview them, listen, don't sell. Synthesize, interview them, don't interview them, listen, don't sell. That's not the right time to sell. Synthesize what you heard, right? Try to filter what you hear, what they're saying. Build a simple feature to test your new hypothesis. I mean, now around those areas, the particular pain points, narrow your product around that area and make it very simple. It can be a landing page, just or simple MVP, just few feature, and then try it. They at this point, even though you've actually found like some pain around that area, pain points around the area, you still need to test it. So you build that small one, and at that point is your new hypothesis, and you want to what test it and validate that this is actually a problem that's worth solving, and they are willing to commit to it. So at that point, don't just build. So the last part, I mean, so, in summary, you don't just want to build a product or a business, you want to build the right thing. You want to build what people actually want. You don't want to build on assumption that I think, maybe, that is likely, this is likely to be. So, but if you conduct your user research, it shifts your mindset from assumption toward evidence because you already have a data that said this is how it should be. This Mr. A and Mr. B is experiencing this. 90% of our audience are experiencing this and that, right? You have the data, and then you're making decision on what to build based on the what, the evidence. So user research isn't a department, it's a mindset. Like it's you understanding what should be. The mindset behind doing your user research is very vital. It's a foundation for everything you do as a business person, as an entrepreneur. You have to understand the importance of user research. In short, if you're not obsessed with your user, you've not started. It's not a single step. It's the foundation of everything you do. The one insight that will save your business, your startup, is waiting for you. Don't overlook it. Don't try to do it yourself. Get your user involved in what you're doing, and you will really appreciate it at the end. You will see that you do not waste much of your resources doing the wrong thing. So while you're building your products, have that confidence level that you've tested this product and it has eliminated the risk assumption, and then increase your what, your confidence level on the product you're building. You know that people are waiting to buy, not just waiting, oh, they have to make commitments. That should be a commitment because I mean, don't be deceived. I've been a victim of this. People will come and be like hyping you while you're doing what you're doing, and actually you discover that this is a pain, right? But eventually when you tell them to commit, you will see the other side of them. So you have to involve that area and also pay attention to it. Thank you so much for listening, and let me know if you have any question.